Hello there, Lunar Squadron, and welcome back to the channel. Unfortunately, we have some rather bad news to talk about when it comes to Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard by now that the panel at San Diego Comic-Con will not be live streamed to the general public when this event happens. However, the news might actually be worse than that, to the point that this panel has a chance of not actually going down, not actually happening. But rest assured, we're going to break down all of this news so that you guys understand exactly what is going on. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you as always, and the way to do that, just go down below this video, hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification right on next to it. It'll let you know every single time that Andreas and I upload. Now, with all of that out of the way, Andreas, let's talk about some bad news.
Let's do it, guys. All right, Nick, now before we get into the doom and gloom cataclysmic scenario here, why don't you go ahead and recap the whole streaming ordeal with this San Diego Comic-Con panel?
Yeah, so for those of you who are not aware of what's going on when it comes to the panel being live streamed at San Diego Comic-Con, that is actually not going to happen. You will not be able to see this panel unless you are actually at the event. Actually, one of our fellow content creators, Sadot the Gamer, or Sado, I'm sorry, man, if you're watching this, I don't know the proper pronunciation of your name, but he reached out to Ryan Penagos, who is the Vice President and Creative Executive of Digital Media for Marvel, and he straight up asked him, would the Symbiotic Relationships panel be live streamed to the general public? And Ryan said straight out, there is no live stream of this panel. And I actually want to add on to this tweet thread that came in earlier today of us filming this, where another person asked to follow up on that question, that for those who will not be able to attend the event, will the content shown at this event, whether that be a trailer or something else, will that be released to the general public? And Ryan kind of kept his cards close to his chest, and he said, just stay tuned to Marvel.com for any updates. So the panel will not be live streamed. However, I want to talk about a little precedent and what happened at San Diego Comic-Con 2018 in regards to Marvel Spider-Man, because that game was there, and that's when they released the official story trailer for that game. So we did some digging, and it looks like that panel that was featured at San Diego Comic-Con for Marvel Spider-Man was also not officially live streamed by anybody. Only thing we could find was some fan live streams, people who filmed it in the audience and then released it onto YouTube. Doesn't look like there were any official live streams for this panel. However, that story trailer that was showcased at that panel was released to the general public on the same day. So if history holds and this panel goes down in a few weeks, if they showcase some gameplay or a story trailer or something like that, Insomniac's precedent that they set at that panel indicates most likely they will release whatever content they show off at this panel to the general public within a reasonable time frame, if not the same day. So even though it's not going to be live streamed, if they show something cool, they probably will release it that same day to the rest of us. But obviously we can't confirm that, but there is a good indication that that is going to happen. However, Andreas, the news actually might be worse than this, to the point that this panel might not even happen.
That's right, Nick, and certainly we're all very excited for a potential trailer to come out of this event, but for those of us who were really looking forward to even attending San Diego Comic-Con to see this panel, I do think that at this point there is a real concern that this panel might end up being canceled or at least reworked, and the reason being is there is a possibly impending Screen Actors Guild strike, which might actually impact this panel. So for those of you who didn't know, this panel was going to largely feature voice actors in Spider-Man 2, including Yuri Lowenthal, Najee Jeter, Laura Bailey, and Tony Todd. And these are, of course, big-time AAA game voice actors, most of whom, if not all of whom, are SAG-AFTRA signatories, which means that they are members of SAG. And last week there was certainly smoke that there might be a strike oncoming with SAG, but it looks like early this week there is some more smoke, and maybe not just smoke, but the coals seem to be red hot, indicating that there might actually be a strike impending, which would start tomorrow as of the release of this video. And so essentially, guys, what's going on here is you have the Screen Actors Guild, and they are negotiating a new contract with the AMPTP, which is the group of all of the production companies in Hollywood. And their deadline to reach an agreement is tomorrow. And if they're unable to reach that agreement tomorrow, then SAG will be forced to strike. And part of that strike includes that members of SAG are not able to promote materials, including movies or games that they've voiced on. And so we've seen articles come out of, for example, Variety and The Wrap, specifically indicating that this will be impacting San Diego Comic-Con. I'm looking at this Wrap article right now, which says, and I quote, "Two individuals with knowledge of the talks tell The Wrap that some key elements of SAG-AFTRA's forthcoming strike rules were discussed, along with stepping away from all film and television productions worldwide. Actors will not be permitted to take part in promotional work of any kind, including press junkets, film premieres, and fan events like San Diego Comic-Con." Another article out of Variety specifically mentioned that San Diego Comic-Con was talked about in publication meetings earlier this week on how to deal with an impending strike. And so a lot of people are starting to be a bit worried that many voice actors who are going to be speaking at these panels, including the Spider-Man 2 panel, will not be able to partake in these panels because of the SAG strike. And so if a strike does occur tomorrow, guys, I do believe that there will be some rough water, but there is a potential solution to that, which would be they might be able to pre-record a panel and then play it on a screen at the event. That might be a potential workaround for this, but nonetheless, this would certainly be disappointing for people who are looking to go to this event to see all of these voice actors live. But it seems like from what you were saying, Nick, this might not even be a concern from all of us in the general public who weren't even going to San Diego Comic-Con, because this panel wasn't even going to be streamed in the first place.
Yeah, and you know, another way they could possibly do it, if unfortunately this panel does have to end up being canceled, perhaps Insomniac would then just resort to releasing whatever trailer or gameplay or whatever they're showcasing at the same time as when the panel was going to go down. But nevertheless, guys, this is a very fluid situation right now that changes almost every hour, if not every day. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. We will keep you updated on any news when it comes to Marvel Spider-Man 2, what's going on with the game, any new gameplay, new trailers, if events get canceled. We will keep you guys up to date. So definitely stay up to date with the channel, hit that little subscribe button, and keep up with us. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for us for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we will see you all next time.